Hold on a second. Alright, what's good? We back. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. Get this adjusted. Alright, we back. It's the Boxing Clinic and more. Told you guys I had another live stream coming up today. And, you know, at least I was going to get 2 in for y'all. You know, I was shooting for 7 this weekend and fall that way. Definitely a busy holiday weekend. Hopefully everybody enjoyed their Easter. And hopefully y'all enjoyed some good boxing, which we'll talk about AJ and Wilder tail end of this video. But right now we're going to get into, you know, that reports are coming out. Like ESPN Deportes, a show on ESPN Deporte called Zone of ESPN, I guess, or whatever their Twitter page is saying that a lot of people are reporting that they saying, well, I seen it with my own eyes. I'm shooting for October, no later than next January, but yeah, so I'm shooting to move down south. But yeah, they reporting that Gary Spike O'Sullivan will be the replacement fight for Gennady Golovkin May 5th, and it still will be pay-per-view. Obviously, ticket prices will go down. They are saying that one of the adjustments to the fight will that it won't be at the T-Mobile Arena anymore, which holds 20,000. It'll be at the MGM Garden. That's a secondary arena to the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas now. That holds 16,000 MGM Grand. So they're gonna have it in the MGM Grand. What's going on? Golden Gloves Boxing. Dr. Blick in the house. They saying that it'll be Gary Spike O'Sullivan, Triple G, May 5th. I guess it still will have a $70 price tag. It might have a reduced pay-per-view, but I wasn't buying it to begin with. I didn't like. It's something about this fight originally with Triple G and Canelo I didn't like. With all the bullshit coming on now, I can't remember, but I just know that, you know, something I wasn't feeling about the fight. I felt that, you know, coming in thinking Canelo was a clean fighter, that Canelo would adjust and you know, kind of, you know, outpoint Triple G this time. I felt that the young lion had more tricks than the old dog at this point. But yeah, with Gary Spike O'Sullivan, what's going on? Mr. Alexander, what's going on? With Gary Spike O'Sullivan in there, the important thing about him is that Golden Boy is still a part of this card. And that's what, I guess, HBO and Peter Nielsen and K2 wanted. They still want Golden Boy to be a part of this card because, I don't know why. Maybe because they want Golden Boy fighters like Ryan Garcia to still be on the undercard. They feel that might be a selling point for the card. But yeah, Canelo did let a lot of people down. I defended Canelo when people was talking about those inflated muscles that he had going into the first fight. And I did a video, POV, was Canelo on steroids or something like that. And I had people bringing shit up from last year on the video saying, see, I told you he was juicing. And yeah, he let me down, you know. And the facts was there, man. I just thought VADA testing was being done. What's going on? I thought VADA testing was being done. I thought it was clean. I thought it was hard work. But you know, one thing that arose to me before he got popped for the clinician whatever the PD he used, was that it was a picture of him in his kitchen, and he was totally flat. Like you know, when you work out in the morning, your body is like just totally flat. If you ever tried to drop weight before, you know, his body is totally flat. But his body was so flat, legitimately. I'll get to the AJ Wilder thing in a minute. But his body was flat, like for real, like flat, like a cardboard, bro. What's going on, William? It was flat. Like he was looking like shit. But I said my dog on when he about to use the bathroom, he was looking like that. And I was like, oh shit, he might have was on something. You know, and it turned out like a week later, he got popped for that clincher ball crap. And Triple G started just unloading. You know, before he got popped, they was talking about, well, right after he got popped, they was talking about how he argued the raps in the backstage. You know, his raps was bad. You know, they told us to shut the fuck up or they was going to kick us out the room. Hey, that's a good point. That's a good point. He says it's funny how soon he agreed to fight for the WBC belt, he get popped. And that was funny, though. That was real funny because WBC wasn't involved in the first fight because Canelo wasn't electing to fight for that belt. This time he had fight for that belt and he got popped. And I thought they still was doing VADA testing, but this dude was, you know, he put some muscle on. We remember he fought Chavez Jr. at 164.5, and he fought Cotto like at 155. He had never legitimately fought at 160. So when you never legitimately fought at 160, we never seen what a Canelo 160-pound body looked like. But he came in like beefy. Like he was preparing to take some shots. His neck was big. And I thought it was just hard work, dedication. But, you know, obviously it was some hard work and medication. So that kind of threw me off. But for them to, you know, actually, you know, still let Golden Boy be a part of this event, because K2 obviously don't have a roster to fill out this pay-per-view event, you know. So maybe that's something that Golden Boy put down, like, man, we still got to be a part of this. We can put Ryan Garcia in, we can put this in, and we can put this fight in, and we got this fighter, and we can still make it a Mexican thing. We just have an Irishman, Gary Spike O'Sullivan versus a guy from Kazakhstan stand in there. So maybe that's something they're thinking about right there. But Gary Spike O'Sullivan, man, that's lame. You know, I got another video about Triple G and all this bullshit. So, but it's probably gonna sound redundant. But for the people that didn't get to see the live stream, it'll say some similar things or something different. But I feel that, man, I mean, when Demetrius Andrade, you know, threw his hat into the ring for Triple G, which I didn't find it too ironic. I knew, you know, somebody like him just wants to skip the tough fights, the contender championship status fights, to get to the jackpot. And that's just how he is. He's mentally weak. But he said he'll fight Triple G. Triple G made a silent rebuttal saying that he don't want to fight a southpaw on short notice. So he said, I don't want to fight a southpaw on short notice. Then Andrade rebuttal said, I'll fight right-handed the whole fight. So you see right there, he picking and choosing right there who he wants to fight. And we know Gilberto Ramirez offered him a shot at his 168-pound title. Well, officially was Bob Arum, then Ramirez co-signed it. You know, Andrade threw his name in. We really didn't see Danny Jacobs formally throw his name in for some reason. But I think he wants to be in there. Billy Joe Saunders' hand is still injured, so he ruled out. So, I mean, shit. You know, I thought my scenario was this. They can move Andrade and make him fight Sullick. You know, because Sullick is undefeated Polish guy who knocked out Jamal Charlo's WC interim title fight, a challenger, and Hugo Centennial Jr. at 154, I believe it was. So, maybe it'd be 160. I think it was 154. So, they can put Andrade in that fight and then move Danny Jacobs back a week, who looking physically good for his fight with Sullick, and fight on May 5th. But Triple G, we know he don't want to rematch Danny Jacobs. He don't want to fight Jamal Charlo. You know, his trainer been on Dante's Boxing Nation several times, did missing Jamal Charlo. Both of those guys are physically looking like beasts for their upcoming fight, April 21st versus Hugo for Jamal, and Sullick versus Danny Jacobs, April 28th. I mean, shit. I think, though, that's the middleweight fight that I want to see, to be honest. But they both are big middleweights, man. And Jamal Charlo's really like 6'2". Danny Jacobs like 6'1". That's the fight that I really want to see at middleweight after all this shit, you know, boils over. But Gary Spike O'Sullivan ain't cutting it for me, especially for $70. I mean, like, check this out real quick, man. I don't know where everybody live at, but Cinco de Mayo in Detroit, we got Mexican town. You go downtown and it's straight. You know, it ain't like Mexico or like Texas or nothing like that. But it's straight. So why would I want to take $70 out of my pocket, put it on a fight that ain't worth a damn, Triple G versus Gary Spike O'Sullivan, that I know the outcome? It's not like Gary Spike O'Sullivan is Mexican. It's not like he hasn't quit versus Chris Eubanks Jr. already. I mean, it's not like this is a guy that we know that's going to be competitive. It's a bullshit fight. We know the co-feature ain't going to be shit because they let Lima Smith and Saddam Ali go the next week for the replay. And it was another fight. Gary Spike O'Sullivan was supposed to be on that undercard versus David Lemieux. They scrapped that. So, I mean, shit. I mean, who they think? I can take my $70 and go and drink it and eat it up at Locos, you know, downtown, you know. And I'm not spending my $70 on HBO. And since Peter Nielsen has took on over HBO Sports, man, HBO been bullshit. Bob Arum has definitely been right. He don't know shit about shit. And AT&T's acquired HBO from Time Warner, and it's been seeming like since they got Peter Nielsen in there, whatever on the way, they got rid of Ken Hirschman. Stephen Espinoza was running HBO at one point. It looked like shit. It looked like shit. We did a video mid last year saying this HBO gonna get out of boxing. Right now, it's never been that bad at HBO boxing. I mean, some of the matchups they have given us this year, and will give us is shit. And Canelo and Triple G was their ace in the hole. And pretty much now, shit, that shit done, man. That shit done. Get to some questions real quick. Yeah, man, they've got nobody for Triple G to fight probably because they don't want to take a risk. That belt is into Canelo fights him. Exactly, Rory. Exactly. Triple G and Canelo go next regardless. Just because Nevada don't sanction it don't mean Texas and Mexico won't, you know. I'm thinking maybe there is something in the contract that says Golden Boy has to pay Golovkin anyway on May 5th. Could be, but when Canelo quit, it might just be like, you know, it's up to HBO, but that could be a case. I'm not sure with the contract. It kind of made sense why they jumped around so much fighting who he wants to, and he didn't have to go with the system. I think now, at this point, who's clean? Yeah, I rate Canelo highly. I thought he was cutting and looking that full because he wasn't cutting down on 154, but I guess he was the shot. Yeah, you know, I kind of thought that as well. Like, he never got comfortable at 160, but, you know, versus Chavez Jr., it was 164 and a half. He looked like Matt. He looked really, really small versus him. And for him to get big like that versus Triple G, I guess that should have rolled some eyebrows. Maybe we were just excited about the matchup. Yeah, why not fight someone tough instead of someone easy? The thing he gonna say about this Alexander is the fact that, it's short notice, big drama show, need time to prepare for Southpaw. He want an easy fight, man. They gonna still keep that $70 price tag. And the reason they keep that $70 price tag because the network don't want to shove out the money. That's why shit go to pay-per-view, you know. They looking past Charlo as much as possible. Exactly. I mean, his name wasn't brought up. He a mandatory, and we know WBC only name a mandatory 1 to 3 years. So, I mean, Charlo could be the interim champion, the mandatory forever. Fuck around with the WBC, man. And it is what it is. Oh, yeah, it's going to flop for sure. Michael, it's going to flop for sure. HBO was premiere. They lost their touch. Yeah, they lost their touch when they got rid of fucking Al Heyman and Golden Boy fell apart and Richard Schaefer all them fell apart. They got rid of Floyd Mayweather. Then on top of that, they got rid of Top Rank. And then on top of that, you know, they got rid of everybody. You going to run with main events, Golden Boy, and Matchroom USA. I mean, you ain't going to get nowhere doing that. I'm sorry. WBC should force him to fight Charlo, Antonio Winner immediately after. They won't. They won't force him to fight Charlo, Antonio Winner after that. He going to be able to do what he want to do. He going to fight Canelo. They won't. WBC is telling us Canelo's innocent. He's innocent. You know, like I said, do away with random drug testing, man, because they're not going to execute the fuck up person. Yeah, I've been saying that Juan Alvarez. Zurdo is a bad matchup for Triple G. You know, during the injury, people forgot about him. He's one of my favorite fighters. He's too big and long for him, man. That boy like 6'3", long, can punch. I thought he did well versus Jesse Hart. It's just a bad matchup for Triple G. Triple G could sue Golden Boy for lost wages and would top name take that fight. Then, you know, one thing about that, Rashid Towns, if he sue Golden Boy, then they probably won't let him fight Canelo. So they got him on a leash. Yeah, be crooked, man. Yeah, they crooks, man. I used to had conversations before I started doing this YouTube thing with just people in the boxing world. You'd be amazed the people that I've been able to chop it up with, man. Professional fighters, you know, people that help matchmake. And this one guy, man, I wish I still had this conversation. Told me that Golden Boy been crooked for a long time. Oscar and his dad have been setting up fights and stuff for that for a long time. I didn't believe him at the time, but I believe it now. Golden Child isn't in a good place right now. Yeah, they haven't been in a good place since Al Heyman took all their fighters away from them. I mean, they got Leo Santa Cruz back. They got Lucas Matisse back. It may be another guy they got back. But 2014 was it? Or 15? It was the worst year in boxing. It was just Al Heyman running out Golden Boy contracts on HBO. I mean, on Showtime. And we found out why. And then Richard Schaefer, he got the hell on. And Mayweather wanted to bring Richard Schaefer back. Richard Schaefer had to sit out for like a year or two. Golden Boy suing Richard Schaefer for playing them. But when you go out there sniffing coke and wearing fishnets and you damage the company name, I mean, what you expect? And then on top of that, you know, they tried to buy, Al Heyman tried to buy Golden Boy away from Oscar for $100 million. He came back, he took his fighters, and then Leo Santa Cruz, Oscar proceeded to make Santa Cruz versus Rigondeaux. Santa Cruz called Al to buy him out. Al got him back, and now where you at? Basically Golden Boy is Canelo Alvarez, Ryan Garcia, and pretty much that's it. You hear Philadelphia fighter Eric Hunter, Adam Mares said Golden Boy treated them like shit. Eric Hunter said an N-word was thrown around loosely. You heard the Galaxy Warrior, Nate Campbell, say the same thing about Golden Boy. I mean, it's just like the floodgates just open, and, it is what it is. I don't have no sympathy on Golden Boy, HBO. And on top of that, Showtime with the premium television shows is catching up to HBO as well now too. CBS is really putting money into Showtime now. And HBO, they got to get it together. With the Game of Thrones, I believe that's ending. I don't watch that shit, but it's ending. Like, what do they got now? I mean, Sopranos, The Wire, all that shit gone. Showtime and a lot of people catching up. But Gary Spike O'Sullivan is definitely not even worth $10, man. It's not worth $10. But we get into the Wilder AJ talk. It's not people saying, oh, Deontay Wilder accepted AJ challenge, and what do that mean? Until I see them in the ring and the contract is signed, I don't fucking believe it, bro. And a lot of people say, well, you the Wilder Clinic. I'm not the Wilder Clinic. I mean, shit. When somebody just, says, bitch shit, or I'm not ready for the fight, me and Eddie not ready for the fight to 2019, 2020, what you expect me to say? He telling me he not ready. He's a champion. He not ready. Then you got guys coming, well, he only got 21 fights. I don't give a fuck what amount of fights you got. He can fight. He only fighting 2 times per year for the rest of his career, Eddie Hearn say. So 2 times 10 is 20, right? Put 20 plus 21, that's 41 fights. He only get to 41 fights. Deontay Wilder going to be at 60 fights by that time if he continues to fight. So, I mean, the number of fights, it don't matter. If you telling me, oh, Joseph Parker's a tougher fight than Wilder, this guy beat Wilder. I mean, you keep throwing hurdles up in front of Wilder. I mean, what do that make you look like? People just wasn't so much of a fanboys in boxing. And boxing got the most fanboys I've ever seen in sports. I mean, fanboys, is people that just ride with a fighter no matter what. You could say, AJ versus the Terminator himself back in '96, and the Terminator coming with a Mac 10 or coming with a fucking grenade launcher. Used to, oh, AJ, and these same fanboys, the same people who go on the Vegas books or bet with their friends and put their money on a particular fighter knowing he ain't got no chance, and when he lose, you come up with these excuses why not to pay or why this happened and that happened. At the end of the day, I mean, that's really the definition of a fanboy. Riding with your guys, nothing wrong with that, but when you take it to a different level, a level of addiction, a level of just something more than just boxing, then you lost me right there. It's for me personally, I don't take into any heavyweight. I'm not impressed with any of them. I thought Luis Ortiz was the most skilled heavyweight. I thought he was the heavyweight that can just possibly take away Deontay's right hand, which he did. And he still fucked up and made a mistake and was drooling on himself. All of them are, C fighters in my opinion. When you talk about the grand scale of boxing from welterweight to flyweight to cruiserweight to super middleweight to 90s heavyweight to what we used to, and people say, well, Klitschko and Joshua was the greatest heavyweight fight. Bullshit, not. If you know your history, it was 1,000 better heavyweight fights than that. That was an average fight, heavyweight fight, in the 80s, 70s, and the 90s. That's an average fight. It's just that we had so many bullshit heavyweight fights up to then, it just got overrated. And I believe me and Teddy Atlas both said that. But like I said, this is better than what we was used to when Klitschko was reigning over the division. And now guys, big guys can be 6'6", 6'7", they can walk and chew bubblegum. And, now they can walk and chew bubblegum. People are improving. I thought AJ would improve after the Klitschko fight. It didn't happen. It hasn't happened. Don't say it can't happen. But he hasn't improved, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you plateau off. If most guys, we work out, sometimes you don't, get past a certain weight or get past a certain physique in your body that you're trying to get to. And it happens. It might take 2, 3 weeks, 4 months, 5 months. It depends. But the shit, you just got to change something up for it to work right. And I believe AJ, if he can prolong the Wilder fight a little bit longer, he can get better. But as constructed, bro, before I get technical, but I just seen Eddie Hearn say a comment saying that you think we can get whoever will warm a fight before Wilder. Yeah, then you got Povetkin out here saying that, he fuck Dylan White. I want Joshua, and he's entitled to Joshua. He's the mandatory, the WBO and the WBA, I believe. He's the mandatory for 2 belts. That's hard to evade. And some people think Povetkin might be the best heavyweight if he can get back to form or when he was on the drugs or what he was when he was younger. He 36, turned on 37, I believe. He ain't getting any younger. So you need to take your shot right now. But at the same time, I mean, he's another one of those guys that was an offender, a PED offender, a 2-time offender, and he paid $500,000 now, in the WBC, and now he's back in the good graces with all the sanctioning belt bodies. So, like I said, it don't pay. I mean, why wouldn't you risk cheating in boxing? Because at the end of the day, they forgive and forget as long as you got that guap behind you. So, same thing. But AJ and Wilder, I believe it when they announced it. I believe it when they're in the ring with each other. And for people that actually know boxing, AJ is just, Wilder is all wrong for AJ at this point. A lot of people don't want to believe it, but at the end of the day, what does AJ do good that should worry Wilder? I mean, he's not even a big puncher like people say, and he's not an effective puncher. He landed that big uppercut on Klitschko. I mean, that was a hell of a punch, and he's getting better and better with that uppercut. But at the end of the day, I mean, he got a good jab. I mean, his left hook is inconsistent. I'm being nice and say that. When he throws it, but it don't really have the effect of his right hand or his jab. And he just tries to come on. He just tried to jab and come with the right hand. He's like where Jesse Vargas was in his career when he was struggling with Josito Lopez's of the world, with just being a 1-2 fighter with nothing special. Not being able to fight on the inside. When you look at Wilder, people say, "Oh, he's sloppy, he this and that," but guess what? He's a better mover than Joshua. He got better range than Joshua. He can come forward and finish. He a better puncher. He's in better shape. He's faster, quicker with his feet and his hands. I mean, shit. I'm just being truthful. You talking about jab? Joshua jab is better in my opinion. But you talking about left hook? Yeah, I think Wilder left hook is better. I think Wilder right hand is more electric, and he got the same uppercut that he mixing in his repertoire. It's not too much different between the two. It's just the fact that Wilder is able to, fight at distance, and he's able to come forward and close for the most part. Do we get out of position? Hell yeah. Joshua wouldn't dream of getting out of something, doing some of the shit that Wilder does. And what heavyweight gonna make Wilder pay for what he does? And the reason that Wilder gets away with a lot of the bullshit that he does is he fights tall. He's athletic and fast, and he's long, and he loses his reach. Joshua doesn't fight tall. He likes to come in and be aggressive and be the boss and walk you down. So Wilder can move backwards and just pick you apart from long range, and you try to hit him, and you fuck around and get out of position, then he make you pay for it, And all it takes is one. With Joshua, you get a chance. The Joshua want to protect the jaw first. Joshua is always in the defensive manner, after he get done with his offense. With Wilder, this motherfucker can be hands down like this with his jaw up, and his height and his length lets him get away with it, And that's factual. Joshua don't use that length like that, He likes to come in and kind of like with Canelo and Triple G. With Triple G was coming in, but he was cautious. Like Joshua is always cautious coming in. And, it's just time for him to change some things with him. I believe he can change. I believe he can get better still. Under Rob McCracken, could he? Yeah. Some things they need to work on. Can Wilder get better? He showed us he got better. Believe it or not, from the first Stavern fight to Luis Ortiz fight, if he fought Luis Ortiz that showed up the night versus Wilder, if he fought him when he was fighting Stavern in the first fight, he would have got iced. Or he would have got beat real, real bad where he wouldn't have been the same fighter. So he has improved. But he's just a better athlete than Joshua. He got better stamina, better speed. He is a better puncher. And he fights with his height. He's able to fight moving backwards and side to side and forward when he wants to. For Joshua, he just got to add some versatility to his game. You can see sometimes he got the good feet to move back, but when he moved back, he would have his chin straight up in the air. And you do that with Wilder, you're going to get clipped. So it's understandable why they waiting on the fight. Because, if I'm making $20 million in a fight and Wilder might bring me $30 million or $25 million, you think I'm in a rush to fight that motherfucker? And I'm going to keep it real with y'all all the time. Fuck that. If the fans are backing me and saying they don't give a fuck if I fight Wilder and they ain't demanding it for real, in my country, and I ain't facing no pressure because I ain't got to live in the U.S., I ain't got to live in Australia, I ain't got to live in the Ukraine, I ain't got to live in Antarctica, you know, I ain't got to live in none of them motherfucking places, the Virgin Islands, Hawaii, I ain't got to hear none of this shit. If I'm good in my hood, you know, I ain't got to worry about that shit. I'm not about to go risk and fight that, man. Real shit. For the good of boxing, because in boxing, we've seen all the time, when Mayweather fought Pacquiao, oh, he fought Pacquiao, then we want to see him fight Triple G. You know, when Canelo fight Floyd, he fight Triple G, then they want to see him fight the next bad motherfucker. You know, it's always going to be another guy. It's always going to be another guy. And boxing fans are, you know, some of the unsatisfied. You can't satisfy them. So anything Joshua, do I blame him in the grand scheme of things, you know, from a rational standpoint, not thinking about boxing for taking his time? No. Get your money. Get that $20 million. You know, if they want to pay you, see you fight, you know, Dylan White, Brodsworth Puez, Takam over and over again, Jarrell Miller over and over again, why the fuck would I give a fuck? They paying their hard-earned money to party, socialize, and watch me fight, and I can get $20 million for a fight that I normally win every time? Fuck yeah, I'm going to get that money, nigga. I'm not going to lie to you. Fuck Wilder. You know, I wait till that motherfucker get to 50-0 or 49-0 right before he break the streak. Then I come in and clip his ass. I give my time. I give me a chance to keep improving, keep working on my craft, keep banking up money. Because I know if Wilder somehow beats me and he knocks me out bad, I just ain't going to be a rematch because I got to recover. And the money train going to be over with. People going to say, you Frank Bruno 1.5, 2.0. So for me, I'm a fucking milk it. And I feel where AJ coming from. I'm going to milk the fuck out that shit. I ain't going to lie to y'all, you know. Until it's nobody else to fight. Until I can't fight Dylan White 10 times no more. Till I can't fight Puev 3 times no more. Till I can't knock Povetkin out no more. And then when it just come down, boil down to it, I'll fight Wilder. And on the way to that, what if somebody knock out Wilder? He just as vulnerable as any other heavyweight fighter in the world. So, like, don't get it twisted, man. I feel where Joshua coming from. I'm getting money. I got every belt. I could just hide behind mandatory until I'm ready to fight him. Until I see him start to age. Until I see somebody hurt him real bad, lay the blueprint, or take the belt from him. You know, what if he get in the ring with Charles Martin and, you know, Charles Martin of Brazil knock him out? You know, what if he getting in the ring with Miller, or Miller knock him out? What if he get in the ring with Puev beat him? What if he get in the ring with Povetkin beat him, and Dylan White beat him? Watch out how quick Eddie Hearn run the contract to the guy that beats Wilder and get that belt. You know? And he ain't gonna say, Wilder, see, you could have all the money. You could have signed with me and had to worry about nothing. So, shit, you know what it is, man. Y'all know what it is. And let's get to some of these questions. If Canelo beats Triple G, they gonna give Charlo a secondary belt, or WC silver belt. Man, you think about Miller saying he smashed Wilder, girl. I mean, shit. I mean, before Crawford blew up, dog, it was a handful of us, man. And before a lot of people knew who Crawford was, you know, he had just beat Prescott, I believe. And, you know, a lot of us had added him on Facebook to show the brother support. And some guys came on his story saying they fucked his baby mama. And had proof and everything. And Crawford was mad as hell. But guess what? It is what it is, you know. I got a girlfriend. He got a girlfriend, wife. Somebody had your wife before you had her. So, I mean, shit. You know, it's part of the game. You know, everybody ain't fucking virgins. Ain't the first somebody to have. I mean, Miller... But what Miller tell you when he went to Alabama, Wilder put him in the hospital. I guarantee he won't tell you that. So, I mean, 50 Cent is always a dirty, snaky motherfucker, though, man. Trying to keep shit going. So, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I don't get caught up in that. They're talking about they have been overpaying fighters. A la they are going to offer Wilder shit, saying he quoted to him has to be realistic. Fight will never happen. Boys, they've been overpaying fighters, but you can't pay Deontay Wilder, which, you know, he's known in the UK because he's fought guys out there. Then he fought Audie Harrison in the UK or some shit like that, so they know him. And if they don't want to pay him what they offer, I mean, at the end of the day, AJ got the most support from everybody, from America to the UK, so he ain't got to be forced to do shit. Everybody taking his side, whether he right, wrong, or neutral. So Spence had 23 fights and Brook had 38. Yeah, you know, you hear nobody talking about that. You didn't. That's good shit, all boxing. Man, I like Dylan White, but it's funnier, Wilder said, to fight Ortiz and instead calls out Povetkin to try to fight Joshua. Yeah, I mean, I guess because Povetkin is a mandatory WBO, WBA. He wants that positioning. They ain't gonna fight Luis Ortiz. Luis Ortiz was with Matchroom. You know, he could have fought him all he wanted to. They're not gonna fight him. I mean, Ortiz. I think the best thing for Ortiz is to stay active and get back in the ring as soon as possible. I say that Charles Martin is a good fight for him. So far, Wilder has done exactly what he said he was going to do. He told Ortiz he was going to face down, ass up, and what happened? All four slobber. Yeah, he did. You know, at the end of the day, you know, I think, you know, if more than people like to say it or want to agree to it, Wilder's turned into a proficient fighter. He's mastering his sloppy style, and that's trouble for a lot of people. He's getting into his prime and his groove right now. And I'm going to say something before I continue to get to the questions. In my opinion, man, it don't matter if it takes you one fight or a million fights to get where you got to get to. You know, people quickly say, oh, Wilder got all these fights and ain't done nothing. I mean, what's that heavyweight that he hasn't done besides beat AJ? I mean, what heavyweight did he miss? Povetkin cheated, and Stavern cheated during Povetkin, so we don't know how long Stavern been cheating. I picked Stavern to beat him. I thought Stavern was going to beat that ass. I didn't think Wilder was ready. You know, I mean, Brazil, that may fight next. I mean, he beat Spilka. I mean, he beat Eric Molina. He beat the Frenchman. I mean, who hasn't he beat? I mean, White hasn't done anything to say, oh, he's a different caliber fighter. I mean, Povetkin, he cheated. He lost $5 million to Wilder without having Wilder throw a punch. So it ain't nothing that he hadn't done. You know, it ain't no gaping hole because all the heavyweights is about the same skill level. It ain't that from tier 1 heavyweights from Joshua Wilder, Povetkin, Joseph Parker, or Luis Ortiz, like that, to tier 2, it ain't that big a gap. The gap is probably like this. It's not a big gap at all. Shout out to the movie reference. You keep one of them in pocket. They all mediocre. Exactly, they are. You know, this ain't like for people that saying they like us guys. Like I'm almost 30, 29, but I remember the old school NBA. You know, 90s boxing. Even going back to reference some of the 80s, 70s boxing, studying film. We know what legit athletes look like. You know, just because some of these guys are bigger, stronger, faster, in you guys' opinion, don't make them better. You know, a lot of the fighters back in the day were more fundamentally sound. A lot of the ball players were more fundamentally sound. So that's where we coming from. You know, we just seen great heavyweight fights before, and we seen what great heavyweight fighters used to look like. You know, I don't remember any heavyweights being above really like 230 for real. You know, Mike Tyson was around 215, 220 in his prime. You know, Ali was around the same weight. You know, when he was in his prime, George Foreman was only 220. Joe Frazier was 215, 220. Ken Norton, all those guys, they was, you know, pretty much around there, and they hit like fucking, a lot of them hit like, whew. Ken Norton, Ernie Shavers, whew. Larry Holmes was another one. Man, Wilder would smash all them motherfuckers here. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think, yeah, possibly, yeah, I think he could. I mean, the reason why people say, oh, he's sloppy, he got out of position, but nobody making him pay because of the speed and height and length. White fighting Pulev as a mandatory order today. Yeah, I heard that. I mean, will Pulev be ready? Because Pulev, you know, was someone he was out of shape and he knew he was Joshua mandatory. You know, that'd be a good fight, but that nigga been so inactive. If I'm White, I rush to make that fight happen. That's a good fight for White. Winnable with the inactivity. AJ's trying to say that he's underpaid. I don't know how. I mean, you the only heavyweight getting $20 million a fight. Look what Errol Spence, Keith Thurman going down in weight. Look at what Canelo getting. We really don't know what AJ getting, man. Eddie's saying $20 million a fight, but have we actually seen a check? You know, have you actually seen what Canelo and Triple G made after the back end money? I mean, he probably is underpaid. With Dana White, you know, allegedly had a $500 million offer, and another entity had another $500 million offer for him. So, shit, the money. I mean, now if he's trying to find a way out, I ain't mad at him. If somebody can guarantee me $500 million, I'm taking that shit. I agree. They sleep on Wilder, man. I don't know if any era can handle these giants. Yeah, they could. Hell yeah, this ain't shit. Klitschko. Only one that I really would say might be an issue for some of them guys might be Vitaly. Because he had the chin and he had the build, the ability. But the height ain't shit, man. The bigger they are, the harder they fall, man. It ain't shit. You know, you had Riddick Bowe, you had Lennox, you had all David Tua, you had a lot of different heavyweights. The height ain't nothing, you know, real shit. Because the heavyweights back in the day were about wider size, but they were tough. You know, you look at a guy like Larry Holmes, that jab would have froze any heavyweight right now. He'd have delivered the bone. Ali was different, especially Tyson. You know, when Tyson had the head movement and the speed and quick and explosive and the body punching, these heavyweights they wouldn't survive in those eras, in my opinion. AJ, especially AJ, man, the way he fight Tyson would have tore his head off. Lennox would have probably beat him with Emmanuel Stewart. If Holyfield, tough. James Toney might even rule over some of these motherfuckers when he was, a newer heavyweight. I don't know if someone can take Wilder right hand. Ortiz took away it. He the one heavyweight that had an educational IQ to take it away. But when they landed, he made one mistake and got tired. It's over. AJ Buggy, he getting paid compared to Spence Crawford. And but we don't know exactly what he getting paid. That's a good question because Homeboy was still staying with his mama not too long ago, saving money. So if he getting $20 million a fight, I ain't staying with my mama unless I bought the house, a big ass mansion. So shit ain't adding up. He probably is getting fucked by Eddie Hearn. Joshua was throwing, slapping punches. Yeah, that left hook that he was doing was just slapping. It was sloppy as fuck, man. It really was. Yo, you think AJ Wilder fight would make more in the UK? I don't know, man. And Eddie Hearn, they said he bought all the tickets in the UK and then resell them on like StubHub or some shit like that. I could believe it. But I don't know. It'd be smart for AJ to fight Miller in New York first and then do that, But in Vegas, it depends. I just need to see how would they market it. The last time Wilder fought in Vegas, I remember he fought Severn. They didn't do shit. That's before he was at where he at now. But I think the UK, yeah, maybe they can fight in Monaco. Monaco is a high price place. Maybe they can get some UAE, some United Arab Emirates, whatever Emirates, to invest or something like that. I don't know, but probably in the UK, in my opinion. But with the ticket hike, with what they buy it though, because in Vegas, for 16,000, and if the fight is as big as people wanted to say it is, they can run up the check on them, run up the ticket price. So it'll be different. Wilder had a better job. He can whip that shit, Paul. Yeah, you could say he had a better job. I think, I don't know. Wilder jab is inconsistent. I think the one consistent punch that AJ throw, Golden Glove boxing is the jab. I think he's a little bit more consistent with it. But, I guess at their best, you can't say Wilder has a better jab. Wilder breaks boxing rules with his style. All had the same thing going for him. Yeah, he do defy the laws of boxing. His height, his athletic ability, and his length allow him to do that. I think Vegas would pay more. Yeah, Vegas could pay more. It could, but I don't know how big how big they are in America for real. Well, people want to go in there and spend the money. I think they could if it's promoted right. The U.S. don't really be supporting black fighters. The highest paid black boxer is probably Broner. That should tell you something. Yeah, because Broner know how to promote himself. Win, lose, or draw. He told y'all motherfuckers still gonna pay to see me after Mike Garcia, and guess what? We still paying to see his ass. Most or watching to see him. So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough for black fighters in America. It's just not because they black. I think the whole of a white fighter need to be filled. It's true. A good white fighter could say boxing as well, but I think not fighting on free TV and being accessible is hurting boxing. Yeah, but you got to think about 20K UK fans coming to Vegas. That's a sellout. Yeah, Vegas don't even hold 20K. The T-Mobile Arena holds 20K. That's it. So you say about if they travel for AJ like they travel for Ricky Hatton and other UK fighters. Yeah, you're right though. That's a good point. And then if you traveling to America, you got money, so you can gamble. It's gonna run up a check in Vegas, especially if they can get Floyd Mayweather involved and 50 Cent involved. With 50 back and Deontay and Floyd back and AJ, which is a hypocrite because he said, "Oh, Americans on the back, Americans like UK back, UK people." When he's fighting Ricky Hatton, so I remember everything or at least some stuff. Yeah, but why either have them have travel when you can get 80K in the UK? But 80K in the UK is different from 20K in the USA. Because a lot of them is $10, $15, $20 seats, perhaps. I don't know. But in the Vegas, if it's a fight, because he could do all that in the UK. Look at Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. Look what they did in UK in Las Vegas. They didn't sell out, but they had a top 5 high gate, almost the highest gate in boxing. So that's something to look at as well. You can run the prices up a little bit more. But yeah, I'd rather for it to go in the UK. I mean, shit. But for Wilder, it's like, but for Joshua, it's important to fight in the UK as well too because if you get your name up there, you can become a global star by knocking out Joshua Wilder in one night. Okay. plus UK pay-per-view in USA. Yeah, that too. Cause you can charge whatever you want in Vegas. Yup, I just said that for seats. Playing spoiler before the record, it would be the biggest draw in boxing in a very. Yeah, you're right. I agree with that. To charge $100 for a pay-per-view like Floyd, you know what your fight card would have looked like. Yup, it's the same thing. $50 E and five. Yup, okay. Damn, that's cold. In my opinion, it's hard to find boxing fans that are both knowledgeable and fair-minded when it comes to. Yeah, you're right. But that's what Hop. That's what bring to the. That's what it is. When you got big fights like that, Pacquiao, Mayweather, fights like that, you get crazy-minded individuals. Man, that's what make boxing the ugly, beautiful science. There are a few Hop, yeah. There are a few out there, man. I have conversations with guys in the inbox all the time. People that inbox me on Facebook, I'm banned, so I don't know. They said 3 days, so this should be the third day. So I should be unbanned and answering y'all questions. Get mind numbing after a while, the uneducated. Yeah, you do, man. A lot of them guys don't be as uneducated as we think. They just be trolling, bro. That's why sometimes I might say something on the thread and I just might not respond when people get to replying because I know how idiot they are. And as soon as you write, they just disappear. So, will the Triple G versus whoever fight? No, it's going to be. They said it's still going to be pay-per-view. Whoever Triple G fight going to be pay-per-view. So, still going to be pay-per-view. Not regular HBO. How much did Lennox Lewis and Riddick Bowe weigh in their prime? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure they was over 220. You know? I'm pretty sure in their prime, Lennox probably over 220. You probably right on that one. Yeah, he probably was a little bit heavier. Yeah, you probably right. Holyfield was always a little bit lighter because he really was a cruiserweight. Sonny Liston, yeah, that's my guy. He should have tried to slide Billy Joe Saunders in. Yeah, Billy Joe Saunders got a hand injury. They said he won't be ready for May 5th. Can't remember Bowl. I think Lil was 240-ish. Yeah, this is about 240. How many U.S. pay-per-view sales would they make at $100? I guess you go big and go home. It depends on how they market that fight. You know, it depends. I think both of them should be on the same card or two main event features in two venues. You might have, Wilder fight out in California and fight, JJ fight in New York and do a co-main feature, two main event features. And I think that'll work that way. So you have to have one fight on the undercard of another card. But I don't know. It's about how they market the fight. A big heavyweight fight shouldn't be hard to market. Rodman Wade 245. Okay. What up? What's going on, Perez? You gotta fight on free TV. Yeah, you gotta fight on free TV to be accessible. I think that's important. That's how Sugar Ray Leonard was getting like $100 million off of free TV too. Yeah, that Jamie McNaughton dude, man, please. I feel that UK fans have earned the Joshua Wilder fight to be at the Wembley. So yeah, who wouldn't want to fight there? Principality Stadium, that was a beautiful backdrop, beautiful arena. That's brand new. Wembley Stadium, Carl Froch Groves, beautiful. If they do that next year, man, I might save some money up and go to that shit. Save that tax money up and go to that shit, man. We should all mob down there, to the UK if Trump let us back in the country. They should fight in the UK. I agree. Cristiano would have disagreed with your assessment of Wilder jab. Ortiz kept Deontay's jab at bay, and he's a southpaw, highly skilled. Yeah, you're right. Glad I found yours. I appreciate it, Hop. Appreciate it, but yeah, we're gonna end this. Get some pizza, get ready for my Wolverines and Villanova. We probably gonna get smashed, but still gonna show my support. Santa Cruz and Mares too is finally made. Like, who gives a fuck? I used to do videos about the rematch and nobody would watch them, so I just stopped fucking doing videos on it. I just stopped doing videos on it, man. I appreciate it, Mr. Pearson. But I'm not excited. I'd rather see Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell, Mares versus Carl Frampton, Carl Frampton versus Lee Selby. I want to see Valdez versus Leo Santa Cruz, Valdez versus Gary Russell. I want to see the featherweight division is a division full of ducking motherfuckers, man. If they all fought each other, it'd probably be the best division in boxing. Valdez, Santa Cruz, Gary Russell, Lee Selby, Carl Frampton, Scott Quigg. The list goes on and on, man. It goes on and on. There's a lot of big fights that ain't been happening in the featherweight division, for real. And it ain't gonna happen, but they fighting in Los Angeles, June something. Is it June 9th? Oh yeah, yep. June something. I can't remember what the fuck it was. It's June 9th or something like. And but the thing about it is, somebody pointed out that Jamel Charlo wasn't announced to be a part of the card, so I don't know what Jamel gonna fight. Maybe he might just wait the whole year and fight Arizona Laura, her winner. But it is what it is. I'm gonna drop the Herd and Lara prediction real soon. So after this process, be on the lookout for that prediction video. See y'all later, man. We gone.